It's a bittersweet goodbye for the last weekly review of White Dwarf magazine. Spiky bits. Make sure you stay in the trenches by becoming a supporter over on Patreon and also scoring yourself some free miniature swag in the process. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our site, spikybits.com, for all the hot hobby tutorials, news, rumors on all your favorite hobby topics. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today. Well, times they are changing at Games Workshop. I don't think that statement has been any truer than in 2016. All the changes we've seen, all these things coming to pass with programs getting rolled out and all sorts of stuff going on. And of course, the latest new program is a switchback to going back to the monthly issues of White Dwarf for Games Workshop. So, starting in September, I think September 2nd to be exact, it will be the first monthly issue since, I want to say, February of 2014. That's going to come in hot at $9 an issue. Now, there's all sorts of specials and things you can do, and we're going to see it in this issue here today. But, that being said, you can jump on and reserve your copy now. I think it's good till like August 14th. You can get in at the introductory rate. Check G-Dub's site, of course, for all the details and deals and things. And of course, we're hearing all rumors and all sorts of stuff out there. But I just want to talk about it, for a minute, because this issue, well, there's not a lot to it, so it's going to take like 2 minutes to go through. But it's kind of like, I feel like this video it's kind of bigger than that. Like, we were here at the first issue, we've done, I would think at least 128 of these things. I probably missed it a couple of times, but people like seeing what's in the White Dwarf, whether it's worth picking up because at $4 a week. Well, you might not want to pick up all of them, but I feel like going forward at $9 an issue, if the Start Collecting Guide for Age of Sigmar was any indication to the quality and what they can actually do in a publication, maybe on a monthly basis, I feel like that's going to be a good value there. So I am definitely looking forward to new format. But speaking of new formats, Games Workshop actually went around calling a lot of their stores this week, kind of explaining the new Switch and things for some of the store owners, at least here in America, that might not have been all up on what's going on with the changes and things, and basically filling them in. Hey, it's going to be a 156-page magazine. Hey, it's going to come out every month. It's going to be $9. Yada yada yada. Your folks are going to look for it. But the thing that I love the most about it, and I heard this from several different stores, friends that own stores, sources, whatever you want to call them, they all said that the Games Workshop trade sales described it as they're bringing the hobby back. And I was like, I just couldn't help but smile when they said that to me, when I heard that this week, because it is literally, I don't like to be one, to get up on here and be like, hey, look at me, I did something. I do this for the hobby. I do this because I'm in a position to where I've been entrenched literally in the hobby since it began in the 80s, and I can give something back through everything I do between the site and these videos and, the hobby tutorials and helping out all these studios and just enriching the hobby as a whole. And we came up with the Bringing Hobby Back concept several years ago, obviously, between what we do here on Spiky Bits and over on the Long War as well. And it was just hilarious to me to hear them use our exact mission statement to describe what they're doing with the White Dwarf. And I mean, just thank you, Games Workshop. Thank you for, I am just vindicating all of the stuff we do, because that really means a lot to me, because the hobby has changed a lot. The hobby went south. I think everybody can agree a few years ago that with the whole win at all costs and not having to have your shit painted and just smash mouth 40K, and the game has never been balanced, let's be honest. But there's a lot of folks out there that don't care about the game. They just want to paint the models, but they didn't agree with this and that. And Games Workshop's really done a lot to clean up their public image, put out all this great resources and things, and hey, look, we care. We're helping, we're trying to become a better company and be more responsive than all this stuff Roundtree's been doing. And it's all culminating in the last issue of this White Dwarf and the new one that's coming out. Also worth noting is that they are going to start using more social media to announce their releases and things, like all their different various Facebooks. And we don't really know from there, but that was basically what it was alluded to, is that new releases and things are going to be kind of teased on Facebook, kind of like they do now. Like they have their own little mini blogs inside their sites, which, you know, of course we always pass along on Spiky Bits, you know, when we get up and, you know, first thing in the morning, you know, check all the news, see what's going on, write it up, editorialize it. That's what we do here, you know. And I can see their point to where, you know, when you put out a paper product such as this White Dwarf, and you ship it in, you know, however many editions and however many countries, well, it's going to go out to a lot of different places. And people are going to get the pictures. They're going to get the White Dwarf. They're going to take the pictures, and they're going to post them on forums and stuff. That's just going to happen. It's just human nature. You leave an iPhone in a bar, and that iPhone hasn't released. Well, guess what? Somebody's going to put it on eBay. It's going to be all over the news. That's just the nature of things. And if you're trying to control the information, you have to control the information. And I think that's what Games Workshop's really starting to figure out. And it's cool to see them using that social media platform to really engage with their audience and, you know, do all the news and everything like that. I think it's great for them. I really do. And I can't wait to help report and editorialize on it and just do what we do here on Spiky Bits. I think in the long run, it's going to hurt a lot of maybe some of the sites out there that all they have is these little grainy pictures and they post it up and they don't have any real content. I think that's going to be bad for them. And, you know, I wish them the best. And hey, man, get practice writing or something. But you're not going to get, you know, you're not going to get any tears from me when I'm posting 15 articles a day and, down in the trenches, again, doing what we do here to enrich the hobby and help make everybody's hobby better, whether it's, 40K fantasy, Age of Sigmar, X-Wing, you know, all those games, all the stuff we cover here on the Spiky Bits news network, I guess you could call it. Anyways, so I just want to say I think it's very exciting times. This is bittersweet for me because, like I said, I've probably done this at least 130 some times now since since February of 2014. So getting right into it. The last issue here, the last weekly issue rather, it features, you know, the new Ogres, which they're not really new, kind of the same models, they're just kind of rebased and things like that. For the first time in a while, we see Jess jumping in here, you know, talking about the end times for the White Dwarf and basically explaining, in a nutshell, what I just basically said for about 5 minutes or so there. Now, when the Ogres first came out in the early 2000s, it wasn't any surprise. There was a lot of leaks and there was a lot of, when the monthly releases were coming out, they weren't as tight-lipped as you could be, even switching between monthly and weekly. We still see the rumors and we still see the stuff getting out there, but they were eagerly anticipated because it was something new, it was a new race for fantasy, and it was really cool to see. And they obviously a fan hit right off the bat. And I can't imagine that these aren't going to be the same way when they come out, especially because this is going to be the third of the new style battle tomes for the Age of Sigmar. Now look at that art. I mean, it's spectacular art. Like, this is what Games Workshop is known for. This is what sells miniatures. This is what gets our creative juices going, you know, as hobbyists. Like, hey, I want that guy. I want to paint that. I want to have, you know, some snow and shit, and I want to have these guys rolling around the tabletop, you know, and that's what it's all about, is connecting with the hobbyist and basically giving that visual and giving them something to aspire to. That's why I think it's so cool. So Beastclaw Raiders are the new faction for the Order of Destruction, right? And they're basically on a mounted cavalry kind of type deal that comes down out of the mountains and raids. They're not the traditional ogres that would just basically line up in battle and do stuff like that. So they're gonna have all sorts of, you know, crazy bonuses as far as like movement, kind of like the I would guess they're gonna be more akin to like the Iron Jaws as far as that goes. Now, of course, there's the Stonehorn and the Thunder Tusk as well. And these guys, I mean, they're great looking models. These were really cool when they came out a couple of years ago. They didn't get any less cooler in the couple of years that went by. But as far as their price point goes, they do sell them individually, but I think the way to go for these guys, and the Morphine pack comes in a squad of 4 now. Well, we're just going to show you everything, I guess. I think the way to go is this Icewind Assault set right here, which gives you 2 of them and a pack of the Morphang cavalry, and you get the Hunter and 3 of those Yetis right there. This seems like a solid deal, I feel like. And these guys are roughly 500 points each. 2 of these guys is a battle line. So this right here is roughly, I want to say 1,400 points easy. not counting these guys here, and you could throw in another one of the big guys and get up to 2K right off the bat. So if you're looking to just kind of jump into something like, low model count army for Age of Sigmar, these guys are perfect. You pick up that army box, pick up another Stonehorn guy, and boom, you're good to go. You know what I mean? But you can still mix and match them with other Orders of Destruction units and things too. So it's kind of cool to see like the direction they're going. And then it's got, of course, all the new releases and things in there too, talking about the new White Dwarf. Then you get to a great showcase on these Nova Marines, which are friggin' fantastic. Let me tell you what, if you have never tried to do a quarter paint scheme, it's like painting twice as hard. It's like painting twice as many models. Like, it is no joke, effing hard. Like Howling Griffins, first of all, the two like hardest colors in the whole like color spectrum, yellow and red together, bananas. But this looks amazing. Like this is literally a hobby project right here, and I could not say anything more amazing than this army right here. And I'm glad they showcased this, because whoever did this is a freaking true hobby maniac, I feel like, because man, just look at all that stuff right there. And this is the kind of stuff I really want to see, in the new White Dwarf. 156 pages has got to have something in it, right? Because it's not going to have any advertisements. It's not, so it's not going to have all that stuff. It's just going to they're basically going to do that thing where they advertise without advertising. Because obviously, next issue is going to cover all the stuff that comes out this month, which we're not going to know yet, but right? So we're going to kind of get those updates as we go, kind of like I was saying, from social media. So it's going to pop out, and then you're going to see it, and then boom, hey, the Chaos book came out, or whatever, who knows? It's the big rumor, there's going to be some sort of supplement, but it could literally come out next week. We don't even know, right? That's how crazy it is. And then all of the coverage will be in the White Dwarf next month. So they get that kind of like double dip of, hey, excitement from the social media, hey, this shit hits the shelves, right? And then boom, the White Dwarf comes out, and it's the double dip of the stuff from the month before. Hey, look at all the cool stuff you can do with these new releases. So I think it's great. Somebody at Games Workshop has definitely got their thinking cap on, and I like what they're doing. I believe it's called a retrenchment, but it is what it is. And there's some Army on Parade feature in here, and then it gets to their favorite covers. And then the very back, it talks a little bit more about the future of White Dwarf, kind of like a lot of the stuff we covered. Supposedly, it's going to come with a clan pack. Some people are saying it's like Karn. Some people are saying it's one of the Slaughter Priests or whatever for the Bloodbound for Age of Sigmar. Some people are saying the first 4 issues are going to come with a free, clan pack miniature. Either way, I think people are going to buy the issue, because once a month gives you a reason to pop down to the game store, check some stuff out. If you get a free miniature, hey, that's cool too. With the rise in popularity in Age of Sigmar, I feel like the 2 system, and plus we got all these like little out of box games coming out here and there too. So I feel like either way, it's going to be a great new release, and give people a reason to go into the game store and pick this stuff up. So look for the brand new Ogor faction coming out next week, as well as some sort of new release rumors, perhaps from Games Workshop themselves, starting in a few days.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. TheLongWar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.